That's awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and ghouls, the following podcast is set for one fall. Introducing first, he is the man of mischief, the master of shenanigans, the horrific haunts. Shifty Gizm, next he hails from Italy. Eurasia, Europa, Sir Ronald Rome, Arminius, Romericus, Romulo, Augustus, Rome's. Finally, from the bluegrass state, he is Kentuckiana's finest, the sorcerer supreme, the StreamYard, the ostinator. And this is your full throttling, 5-star sword swinging, table breaking, lads lifting, gimmick giving, good old wrestling, backseat, autonomous, freedom duffing, liberty loving, globe adventuring, podcast federation. No, and it started right, god dang. Now, ladies and gentlemen.
Perfect timing on that. I would just
Now,
like
now everybody's going to think that Rome's is a Cena kid.
Well, listen, he's not here this week, so you know what? He's gonna be the Cena kid for today.
Dang.
By the way, if you people were thinking that you were getting a new theme song, well, guess what? You get nothing.
You get nothing.
You want to change my profile picture? You get nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to Good Ol Wrasslin, everybody. There's no real huge news today, so let's just get right into it because we were talking about it backstage quite a bit. Shifty's here. What's up, Shifty?
Nothing much. Yeah, especially after tuning in Monday at 3:00 in the afternoon to Monday Night Raw in Brussels and trying to see if Cena was going to do anything interesting, and he did not. He did not. He failed.
I was expecting for Cena to go, "Get away from me, Stu," or he should have said something to the cameraman. I was like, he's looking really upset, and he's holding his towel sideways. He's walking to the ring. When I saw him walk to the ring, I'm like, oh god, are they gonna do like a Rock thing where like his theme song's playing, and then next thing you know, he pulled up the towel that like a new song was playing? But no, didn't happen.
No Travis Scott for him. No Travis Scott.
No Bad Man, no Travis Scott. It's just John Cena with his little dorky hat, his jorts, and his little shirt. And he's coming out with his little towel. He's holding it sideways. He's walking to the ring looking like he's got out of bed and he heard some really bad news. So he's stormed to the ring. He's looking like he's ready to cry like Cody. Like it was a sight to behold. I was like, man, this is as somebody who's seen like Cena like throughout for most of his run and just like seeing him just like walk into the ring, I'm like, you don't really usually see him walk to the ring. He always runs to the ring. He's always like, yeah, guys, Then he's like, but no, he's just walking to the ring. He's looking really miserable. He covered his bald spot apparently, so I was thinking, oh, he'd be happy about that.
Yeah, he did. He did change some things, but I mean, the stuff that you wanted him to change up, he didn't. He didn't bother. And whatever he would have done, the fans would have probably still wouldn't have been happy. But I don't know. It was underwhelming. It was underwhelming.
So listen, as somebody who's watched John Cena, hey Dandelion, how's it going? Good to see you.
Hello.
It's been a while.
Hello.
Hello, Dandelion. So look, as somebody who started watching wrestling in the 2010s and watching John Cena and hating John Cena, like a part of me was like, I'm glad at least he's doing because you never thought you would ever hear John Cena do the "you people" promo. Because of course, the one trope in pro wrestling that never fails is the "you people" promo. And I'm thinking to myself, John Cena would never do this. And then you hear John Cena go, "You people have been awful to me." I'm like, oh my god, John, no, don't tell me you're doing this. And Dandelion said, hope you're both doing well. I'm doing all right, Dandelion. How are you?
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, I know. We're going through this whole John Cena thing, and it's like, and then we're just switching up. See, listen, we're like the Rock around here, where we switch up whenever we feel like.
Yeah.
It's just like, so Cena's like doing like you people, and then like, but during the pro, he's like, I'm breaking up with you. This is like a toxic relationship.
It took him long enough.
Daylight just got home from work, so better than that. All right, well that's understandable. But I'm glad that you're doing better than you were an hour ago.
Time to relax.
Indeed. You know who's not relaxing right now? John Cena, because he just broke up with everybody in a toxic relationship.
Yeah, it took him how many years?
Yeah,
he said
took him
20.
It took him like 13 years to understand this. Like, John, this has been going on for 13 years. We didn't like you then. Please, for the love of God, what took you this long?
He said 20. He said, I was like, I don't think your math is right, but okay.
Is not right. Like, if you do the math, he became a babyface in 2003. So if we're doing the math here, that'll be about 22 years.
Yeah.
Or, well, no, excuse me, one, because my math's not exactly right. But if we round it up, it's 22. But the
math, who needs it? Who needs it?
Yeah, you know who is a great mathematician, though? Scott Steiner. He is a great mathematician.
Hey, he claimed in an interview with somebody the other day that some math professor actually emailed him. He said, "Yep, your math checks out." So yeah.
Who knew Scott Steiner to be a very smart man?
Yeah, I mean,
because when you see the chainmail, you're like, oh man, this guy's a psychopath. Meanwhile, he's cutting promos about like equations. I'm like, holy shit, this man's smart mathematician here.
I don't think people give Scott Steiner enough credit. They give John Cena way too much credit, but they don't give Scott Steiner enough credit. They always say he was a meathead and he was just a jacked up, steroid taking dude. Even though he claims he never took steroids, but the dude in his career when he was just straight out of college getting into wrestling, he was a great high flyer. He's the one that came up with the Frankensteiner, the Hurricanrana. He came up with all these great moves and. He was a really a great technical wrestler, and he didn't really slow down until he got injured, and people just think he was just a roided up dumb dude in the ring, but no, dude was pretty gifted.
Apparently, he was he was one of the first people that hit a 450, I think.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he was like some big mathematician type dude, outside the ring.
Scott just rules in general. I fucking love Scott Steiner.
Yeah, we need to have some shows devoted to like some old wrestlers and go back and check him out.
I know where we were kind of planning on doing that with like Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan, but I think that was just to shit on them more so. To shit on them, not praise them. I do think though we should do an episode on Scott Steiner, just like praise the fuck out. Just like, man, listen, the guy was underrated. He doesn't get props he should.
Here we all are talking about Scott Steiner when we should be talking about John Cena, but I mean Scott's just a more interesting individual. I mean.
He is indeed an interesting individual. But you know who's not very interesting is John Cena. But to be fair, has John Cena ever really been interesting if you really think about it?
Not really. And Universal, NBC Universal, they tried hard to make him interesting by trying to make him like this big mainstream entertainer personality through multiple different ventures, including placing him front and center on Total Divas. I swear to God that his relationship with Nikki, I don't think it was real. At least a great chunk of it. I don't think it was real. I think it was just for the show.
I
And
think
then
so
they made,
too. Yeah.
yeah, and then they had him co-hosting the Today Show on. I mean, a lot, and which was really weird. So they bent over backwards trying to make him a household name to get his movie career reinvigorated after it kind of fizzled out early on. But yeah, I don't know. The kids love him. The kids love him, but nah.
Well, the kids don't love him anymore.
No. That poor German kid.
Yeah, they're all like, yeah, and fuck that guy.
He said, I could have spent my allowance on strudel, but no, I bought all this John Cena gear.
Yeah, oh man. So then Cena does the heel promo, and personally, as somebody who grew up like with Cena being a babyface the entire time, a part of me was like, no, John, don't say it. Don't do it, John. But meanwhile, the other part was like, yeah, fucking tell everybody, John. Tell them how you really feel. And then out comes, of course, to ruin the fun, Cody Rhodes, who's coming out. He's looking like he's ready to burst into tears, like he always does. I swear, it's like on cue. He's getting ready to cry. It's like, for the love of God, Cody.
Well, yeah, but this John being such a lame ass on Monday, it made Cody into it actually helped him to where he rebounded and he wasn't the total dweeb he usually is, because he brought some force to the mix, and he's like man up, I don't want to face your lame ass at WrestleMania. You're not the person I thought you were. It was it was a mess, man. I don't even know what to say about it.
Do you think it was intentional the way they presented it, so that way the fans didn't turn on Cody?
But partially, because too often the heels are cheered, and that's what this was their moment to actually get everybody on board with Cena. Some people have waited forever for this moment, and they're like Batista, like, you know what I want? Give it to me. Give me what I want. You give me what I want. You know what I want. Give it to me. And then Cena's like, you get nothing. And yeah, that's we got nothing at all. And we've waited a decade or more for this moment, and he gave us nothing. We wanted him to be that cool heel character that we all could cheer for, because you're a badass. You're now a badass. You're not a lame ass. You're a badass. But no, he's still lame.
But now he's just John Cena, but he just cries and whines.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Which honestly, that might be the ultimate heel move, honestly, because he's already heel to begin with. Now he just cries and whines.
Yeah, I like we were saying backstage, I just hope this is a slow burn storyline, and this is building to something with his character actually going into a direction to where he's heelish. But you brought up the fact, because he didn't come out to a new song and he didn't come out with new gear, he may be he may not be sticking around in this persona very long, which it's kind of disappointing, because this last week we were thinking that maybe this was going to last most of the year. It's at least until SummerSlam. But now I don't know what to think. I guess we'll just have to tune in. But man, at this point, I'm just not jazzed at all for WrestleMania. They need to rebound quick, because a lot of people, if you saw the reaction on Twitter, I mean, some people liked it, but a lot of people was like, I don't know about this.
I'm willing to give it a chance,
Yeah.
But like I was telling you, Shifty, at this point I don't like. It's starting to feel like this isn't going to be a long term thing. Like we already knew, kind of going into it, it wasn't going to be the entire year, but we were at least hoping, okay, like at least let's get to SummerSlam at the least. But
Yeah.
it's starting to look like, all right, it's going to be like a month or two thing to at least get to Mania, and then Cena's going to turn back into a bit. Because like it also depends on where they're going, the direction they're going in at Mania. Is if Cena wins, I want him to win as a heel. I don't want him to win the belt and then have him be like, hey guys, I'm a babyface again. Like, no, that's dumb. Why?
Well, we still don't know who the third man is. I mean, is it Travis Scott? Is it somebody else? It could be Austin that's going to turn on Cody to seal the deal of Cena winning the belt. So we don't know.
Dude, if that happened, the main event Mafia would go crazy. Like it's just Austin, Cena, and Rock just be like, listen, fuck the young guys. We're just here to but like two of them aren't even gonna wrestle. They're just gonna be like, all right, I guess we're just here. Cena's gonna do all the work, and Cena's like, nah, I'm not gonna do all the work. So see you later. And then everybody's gonna be like, well, what's the point of this then? And then they're like, because we're cool. Shut up. But you're not cool. Yes, we're cool. Guys, you're middle aged. You guys don't even work here really full time. Listen, we're here. We're cool. Shut up. I don't know. It just to me, like, you know what this could remind me of, Shifty. Remember it like a few years ago, like it was like 20 years ago, I think, or close to 20 years ago when
a few years ago, no, close to 20 years ago. That's a big gap.
It is a big gap, but I swear. But listen, but I've seen this match, and I've seen some of the stuff leading up to it. Remember when Shawn Michaels turned on Hulk Hogan so they could have a match at SummerSlam, and they had Shawn be the heel? But then after the SummerSlam match, which was so fucking hilariously bad, that Shawn shook Hogan's hand and he turned into a babyface after. Like, I have a feeling if this is the direction they go in, is that Cody could potentially beat Cena, and then Cena's going to turn around and be like, all right, you're the guy now. And then we're all going to be like, well, what was the point of all this? So you turned heel to prove a point? Like, what?
So does that mean that Cena's going to be overselling like crazy at WrestleMania?
Oh my God. Imagine like he just takes one punch and just starts flying across the ring. And then we're all going to be like, John, what the fuck are you doing? And it's like, John's like, I don't want to do business, but I got to do business. And it's like,
man,
yeah, but John, you could try not to be a dick. No,
I think we need to give the synopsis of what happened back then, because there's probably some people that aren't aware of what went down between Shawn and Hogan.
Oh my God, it's honestly, this shit was so like just like listening to it and like what happened. It's so funny because it also makes me think like what would happen if because I think I've listened to a podcast too, and this would have been really fucking entertaining. Is if Shawn ended up going to WCW in the 90s when he was at his like peak, like asshole ish. And like you have Hogan there who's just fucking notorious for his politicking. And you have Shawn and Hogan and they're like fighting backstage like for like hours and hours about who's taking the finish. And like if Shawn's gonna join the NWO to be Hogan's lackey, and there's just this whole like power struggle. Like that would have been so sick. But the basic synopsis is, so the original plan, it was going to be like a trilogy of matches. It was going to be Hogan was going to get the win at SummerSlam. Then Shawn, I think, was going to get the win at the next pay-per-view. And it was going to end in a cage match where Hogan goes over. Well, according to whoever you believe, Hogan didn't want to wrestle the three matches because he had a knee injury. He just didn't want to lose to Shawn. It then turned to a one-match program, which, okay, whatever. Then Hogan's like, oh, by the way, Shawn, you need to be a heel in this program. And Shawn's like, what? Why? And then Hogan's like, because you just got to, brother. We're not doing the babyface versus babyface thing, dude. We got to have a heel in this program, brother. It ain't going to be me, Jack. And then Shawn's like, what the fuck? So Shawn's pissed off because he's like, well, goddamn, I guess I'm being out. He's like, goddamn, I'm being out politicked by Hulk Hogan. And then like he's like, fuck it, I'm not doing business. And then like he's like, I'll do business, but I'll do business for you. And then like the SummerSlam match happens, and oh my God, it is the most hilarious match ever because Shawn does not give a shit. Like he is overselling to the max. And like there was like one point, like I think like Hogan shoves him and like Shawn like flings himself, like he gets pushed off, and he's magically outside the ring, and Hogan's just in shock. He's like, what the fuck?
He doesn't know what's going on. But Hogan should be used to that because he's the man who gave the finger poke of doom, and he should be used to those sort of shenanigans. But man, he was like, what the hell's going on? Yeah, Shawn really a masterpiece. If you're not into wrestling, that's one of the matches you should watch though, because it's generally so comical. Of course, people just randomly finding it that they wouldn't know what's going on, but it was great.
But like you hear the backstage of it, it's so funny with the context.
Yeah,
Like it's oh my god, but coming back to the Cena stuff, it's just like at this point, I don't know whether this is just Cena just doing it because half-assing it because he thinks, oh, if I half-ass it, I'm actually going to get people that hate me because maybe that's his mentality. Or is he half-assing it because he knows, like, oh, this isn't going to be the entire build, or like he's not going to do this entire retirement tour as a heel, like that. There's just a lot of factors we kind of have to think about because it's like, okay, well, what's the plan here? Is Cena going over at Mania and then like have Cody chase the belt, because then have The Rock come out and be like, oh, by the way, the final boss says you ain't getting a rematch until I say you do, which will be never, or something. And like Cena does his own thing for a little bit, and then Cody gets a rematch down the road, probably at SummerSlam or wherever, and then Cena turns into a babyface, and we don't know what the plan is because this whole WrestleMania build is just fucked up because of one person, and I keep saying it. It's one person that's fucking up this WrestleMania build, and I don't want to hear the the plan was for John Cena to not be a heel. Cody was going to be a heel. Okay, full stop here for a second. I've heard that before too. Is that apparently according to the dirt sheets, Cody was going to be the one to turn heel, and everybody was like, no, that's fucking stupid. Why would you do that right now? We're literally like red hot right now. Why would we do that? And then Rock's like, all right, well, guess what? The final boss says that John Cena's going to turn heel. It's like, no, don't. This is just so weird because The Rock's like, oh, well, this entire thing, the final boss doesn't have to have a match with Cody. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You do not. You can't be building up all of this to turn around and be like, no, I don't want to wrestle. What the fuck? What was the point of this then? Do you want to wrestle? Do you not? Do you want to do a movie? Do you want to beat Black Adam? Do you want to drink Zoa? Like, make up your mind. Come on, Rock. Come on, Dwayne. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's so easy. It's so simple. For the love of God. It's our fault, really, in hindsight. I keep saying it. It's our fault. We really should have saw Black Adam 20 times each, and he would not be here right now. And he would not be fucking up everything.
That's 20 more times than what I've seen of it.
Listen, if we didn't even need to go see it, we could have just gave him money and just said, look, listen, here's all the money in my bank account. We're not going to see the movie, but here you go. Stay the fuck away. But no, we didn't. Instead, I went to see it once. That was it. That was my fault. I should have saw it 3 more times for you, Rock. I really should have. Like, I'm telling you, this man, he's doing this shit out of spite, I think. Like, he has to be. Like, he has to be fucking with us on purpose. Because there's no way this man is going out of his way and doing this on purpose. Other than just to be like, you didn't want to go see my movie? Well, the final boss says, fuck you.
I think he's maybe over that by now because Moana made like a crap ton of money. So
it may be, but at the same time, it's like that's a big fucking blemish on your record there. Like,
but is it really? Because I mean, it was like a failing universe, and everybody knew it was ending, and nothing he could really do could change that around.
That's
even bringing Cavill back. I mean.
That's true, but at the same time, I just find it funnier to think that Black Adam was the cause of his mental breakdown.
Yeah, I just think we're too hard on The Rock. We're too hard on The Rock. Not hard enough on Cena, but we're too hard on The Rock.
Well, I mean, The Rock is just causing a lot of problems backstage, and He's literally going out and like shows. He's just throwing out the F-bomb casually like water.
Well, I mean, so is Cody. I mean,
Not much of a wrestling follower, but I'm guessing they are trying to create buzz to get more eyeballs on it. Creating good narrative is probably secondary to scandal.
that is true.
That is true.
Especially last year. Especially
Oh my
last
God.
year.
Yeah, especially last year when, The Rock just had to get involved. And, in hindsight, we really should have just let The Rock main event WrestleMania last year in hindsight. I feel like,
told you.
listen, I get it. First of all, The Rock shouldn't have been involved to begin with. But you know what? If The Rock was going to get involved, just let him main event one night of WrestleMania, let him face Roman, and then fuck it. You could have found a compromise, but no, we were all way too hard on it, and now here we are. The Rock is making his point known that he's very displeased with all of us, and now we're paying for it.
I think that's why Rome's ain't here tonight. He's so disinterested in John Cena when he did Money. He's like, fuck it, I'm not showing up tonight.
Or he could be really crushed about John Cena.
I don't think he's crushed. I doubt that. Deshaun might be, but
I mean, Rome's Deshaun. Like, I think everybody's just crushed. They're heartbroken about John Cena, turning heel. That everybody just went, oh man, I don't think we can. I don't think we can be here tonight because we're so devastated about John Cena being this villain man.
This villain man. His promo was so lousy. I didn't even finish Raw. I just turned it off. I was like, well, it was like 3:30 in the afternoon too. But I was like, I just turned it off.
To be honest, I wanted to shut it off, but I'm thinking about it. I'm like, well, I'm here anyway. Might as well watch it, I guess. Like, because I really wanted to watch for the Cena promo. Then I was open the show. I'm like, oh, well, I guess that's over with. I guess I'll watch the rest of the show then, since I'm watching it anyway. Nothing really happens. Pentagon wins his match. He's going to face Braun Breaker, I think, for the IC title at Mania. At least that's what they're building up to. I don't know if that's what the plan's going to go. But I feel like the Cena promo, like, you don't have to give, like, this massive explanation about, like, oh, I sold my soul to The Rock because of this, that, the other. Like, no, you don't need to do that. If you really just want to do, like, you people, like, you need to set up, like, this heel thing. If you're going to do this heel thing and you want to do it right, have Cena come out to the ring and say, you know what? I hate the fans because, you know what? You treat me like garbage for years, but then now that I'm nowhere to be seen and now, I'm doing the part-time stuff, now you want to cheer me because you realize that because you didn't appreciate me, and now that I'm, going away, now you're going to try and throw me away through this, whatever. And then Cena can start going, and then all the kids are crying. He's like telling the kids, yeah, shut up. Like, you're wearing, like, there were some lines in the promo that worked. It's just, as a whole, the promo does kind of come off like, it almost felt like at points he was almost like, he was saying the same thing almost. He kept going, oh, I hate the fans because you're in a toxic relationship, and then this, that, the other. Like, the stuff about, like, oh, I don't dress like you dress like me, or like something like that. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And like, I didn't mind the whole, like, Cena going, oh, you treat me like garbage. Like, that makes sense. Like, that's like, yes, you need to kind of bring that up. And then he kind of goes into it, but doesn't. And it's just like, oh, okay. But have him go into the talent. Have him say, look, these young guys don't want to, they don't try, because this is kind of a common issue that CM Punk had, a couple years ago. It's like, if you're talent and you don't want to be the top guy, like, other than a few, like, why are you here? Have Cena say, you know what? I see a lot of talent that don't give a shit. And you know what? I'm done with it. I'm here because you guys, people can't do your job. And when I leave in December, you guys got to step up. And granted, and I don't think you guys are going to, because you're not on my level. And let's face it, other than a couple people, nobody's really on his level in terms of star power. So you could have Cena come out and say, you know what? You people these guys are nothing to me. These fans, nothing. I'm the guy. I'm going to be the 17-time champion. What are you? And he could just start running down names. Like, you could start going after guys like an AJ Styles. He's like, listen, you were that guy from that other company, and without me, you wouldn't be where you are on the card. Like, you'd be on main event, or worse, you wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for what I did for you.
Yeah.
Like, Like he could go after CM Punk and say, you know what, you left, I didn't. Well, kinda, because he did kind of leave because he went part time. But the point is, he could tell Punk, listen, you left, I didn't. You took your ball, you went home, I didn't. And you know what? You did the UFC thing, you went to that other promotion, but meanwhile, I stayed, and what was I shown? Nothing. I wasn't given any gratitude. And with all this whole bullshit happening, guess what? I'm the one here. I stayed. You didn't. And then and you know what? Even though he's a heel, he could go after someone like an Austin Theory or Solo Sikoa and be like, listen, you beat me. What did you do? Nothing. So sit down.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, and people could be like, oh yeah, he's right. And then he could be like, oh no, I'm not done. And then he could go after like a very popular like Jey Uso or like LA Knight, and he could be like, listen, you guys are just a catchphrase. I have a catchphrase, but guess what? How many world titles you got? And then that's when everyone's like, oh Jesus, like oh my God, he's going off. And then like he could have like John Cena even go after he's just going after everybody. Like he should be like that guy. Like he's not a tweener, he's a heel, but he's a heel that not even the heels like. Like he should be like the faces don't like him because and then the heels don't like him because he's saying shit that's gonna get under people's skin. Like he should go off and say, listen, I've tried really hard to give back, but none of you, but all of you that I've tried to I've given I've lost to, you guys haven't done anything with it. So here I am now having to come back here and do this retirement tour to build my star back up for one last run because you guys couldn't even do the bare minimum.
Today they announced on Twitter that they're looking for new writers and new producers for the WWE creative. You ought to clip this and send it in.
I'm telling you, you don't have to do like a massive thing. You could have just had him do something like that, but when you're just having him come out doing a "You People" promo, even then it makes you wonder, how long is this going to be? Is this going to be a month thing? Is this going to be in like a few months? Is it going to be a week?
That's why we got to tune in, I guess.
That's right.
How many more weeks? Like 6 weeks, 5 weeks?
Let's see here. We have next week, which is 1. Then we have the following week, which is 2, 3, about 4 weeks, I think.
Yeah. So there's plenty of time to try to do something, but.
Dandelion comes in. The whole Cena thing has drawn some interest from non-wrestling followers, so I guess it's working from that point of view. I don't follow, and even I've heard about it. That's true. Wow. Kind of.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it had got that far. I know last year what was going on with Rock and Cody and stuff that really blew up into the mainstream because there was a lot of other people I follow on YouTube who have no interest in wrestling started doing like wrestling topics on their streams, and I was like, wow, this wrestling is huge now.
I guess so.
Yeah.
And you know what, too? You know what would have made that Cena thing a little bit better? Like, if you're going to do the whole Cena, you people promo, like, you could have had Cody still come out, because I understand Cody, they got to make him look good. They got to make him look strong. So, you make Cody look good. Cena, you could have had Michael Cole doing, always clapping, because he's like, oh, I love Cody. And then Cena could turn around and be like, really? You're going to applaud that? And then he just gets out of the ring and he gets into his face and listen, how long have you known me for this long, and you're gonna take his side over mine? And then he's just running down Michael Cole, and Michael Cole's like, no, John, don't. And then next thing you know, John Cena just pummels him, he drags it, he just pulls him into the ring, just beating him up, and then Cody has to run down and make the save. And
I don't know if that would work, because people would like to see that happen to Michael Cole. So,
or he could beat up Stu, the cameraman. He could say, fuck you, Stu. And everybody would be like, no, John, don't do it to Stu.
I've never heard of Stu until you brought him up. So
no, because John Cena always kept talking to Stu, the cameraman, during his entrance. And it's like,
oh yeah, I just thought he was talking to the people out there in People Land, TV Land.
He calls all of us Stu, I guess.
Oh, does he actually mention his name, Stu? Because
he always he's like, yeah, Stu, this is gonna be a big night. Let's go to
Oh.
where. Then like he's like talking to Stu like he's his best friend or something. It's like,
Okay.
all right, I guess Stu is his best friend when nobody else wants to be his best friend. And then, or what, they could have had R-Truth come out and be like, "No, John, say it so, John. What about me? What about the John Cena fans?"
That is his longest, biggest number one fan right there. R-Truth.
I know he was a fan even before John Cena was born.
That's right.
It's like he already knew. He knew that he could see in the future.
Yep.
All right, Dandelion. It was good hearing from you.
Yeah. Take care.
I hope you have a good rest of your night. But yeah, so it's just, I think realistically, I think the Cena promo had promise. I just think if Cena did more. See you soon. Definitely. Absolutely. See you soon. But yeah, the Cena promo, I think on paper would have worked. I just think it needed to be revised a little bit to sort of give, because you have to give like some sort of a reasoning and a little bit of like a why. Like you don't have to give a complete entire synopsis. You don't need to give a story, but you just need to give the why. Like, and the why is there. It's just you have to expand on it a little more so that way we're not going, okay, what are we doing here? Because now it feels like, okay, is this whole thing going to be you turning around, turning into a good guy again? Are you just going to stay a heel? Like, is there like, where is this going? It's just a clusterfuck. And that's honestly the thing I will say about WrestleMania right now. It all feels like a clusterfuck right now because there's just so many moving parts. It's
uninteresting. It's uninteresting compared to last year.
Yeah,
last year we were all hyped up. We were hyped up, and this year,
I mean, there are like some matches on the show that I'm, interested. I'm excited for from a story standpoint and like maybe from a match standpoint. But then there's just like other matches that are just a clusterfuck right now, like this Roman Punk and Seth triple threat. I'm kind of agreeing with you. This entire story thing, like this whole triple threat, is just a clusterfuck. Like, I don't really like, again, and I think I've been saying it, like you can't have your cake and eat it too. You got to do one or the other. Doing a triple threat at this point is just kind of lazy. Like, you either can do Roman Seth, Roman Punk. You could have done Seth and Punk, but the triple threat thing, I was like, really? Like, unless there's something more to this triple threat, it's just gonna be like, okay, well, we already kind of got a triple threat with the women's title. At least that's what's more likely going to happen. Why are we doing a triple threat here? It's like, makes no sense.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just in a weird position right now. We got weeks to let it build, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just very, very weird. But it's not weird though. It seems like Rey Fenix has been signed to SmackDown, or he's going to SmackDown because he signed with WWE officially.
That's cool, but they said that they wanted him to, be, the Lucha Brothers with Penta, but Penta's on Raw and he's on SmackDown. So how are they going to be brothers when they're going to be they're on different shows?
Yeah. So here's the thing: I don't really blame anybody for this because it's just circumstances that happened that kind of led to them not being together. Because the plan was they were going to be together and they were going up to the main roster, but when the whole contract stuff happened, it turned into, well, Penta's going to go to WWE first, and then Rey Fenix will go whenever they decide to release him. And they didn't release him until like a couple weeks ago, and now it's now they're just there because like somebody like Wrestle Purists did a thing where they posted like the two were in contact. So Penta and Ray Phoenix were in contact with WWE last year, which led to their relationships with AEW souring, and then that's what led to all the drama that happened behind the scenes. So which was kind of what you kind of figured, because it's like it's a little weird, like, oh, this person can go, but this other person can't. It was just a clusterfuck. So they're trying to make do with what they got, and it seems like they're going to split them up for now, and they'll probably pair them back up together once they kind of do their singles runs. But yeah, other than that, I mean, because apparently it seems like Aleister Black is also returning, because they're doing like those vignettes where they're doing the 5 and then turn to 4. Like
he better have his entrance that he used in NXT.
The NXT entrance was really dope. I really liked his entrance in NXT. Like, I really hope they let him keep his theme, like his old theme song, which I don't think they will.
They replaced it before he left.
Oh yeah, God, yeah, that's right. Oh yeah. God, what's wrong with that? Like,
I kind of like his old theme music because it's one of those so bad it's good type deals, because it's just I don't know I like it, but it's kind of it's kind of silly. It's a silly rock song, but it works.
It works for him.
Yeah.
God, like, and like his look is really unique too. It's like you could like, I really hope, like, because it seems like with the way they're counting it down, it feels like he might be back before WrestleMania, I hope, or at least they're gonna start like doing something with him, and hopefully they do something with
I don't know.
He does fine.
He's like a big dude to save for the Raw after WrestleMania. Him showing up, and then Cody could be out there and be like, "Yeah, I want my title back. I want to. I need my match against Cena." And all of a sudden the lights go out, and all of a sudden, boom! Home Skillet lights come back up, and Home Skillet's done kicked him in the head. And he's, "Oh, holy shit! It's Aleister Black! Holy shit!"
No, they'll do like the AEW thing, because he and Cody had a feud in AEW, and then the commentators in AEW were like, oh my God, who is that? And then you got, oh my God, that's Tommy End. But that's not the Tommy End I know when I wrestled him in Dusseldorf, Germany. And then he's like, and then you got X going, oh my God, that's Malachi Black, and you have Jericho going, oh my God. And then like that's it. Like, and then like he can't, like, does the black mask like Arn Anderson, and apparently there was like a thing that they did where Arn Anderson blocks the black mask at some point. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, Arn Anderson must be the most powerful man in existence if he can block the black mask with his forearm, something that nobody else can do.
He's got that hand that's numb, so he probably couldn't feel it. So he blocked it with his. He couldn't feel it, so
Yeah, he's just one of those interesting guys.
Yeah, I think I hope they use him correctly when he comes back. But that feud with Cody, that was like one of his. He only had like 6 singles matches in AEW, didn't he?
He didn't have a lot of singles stuff. Yeah. Like he was primarily in a trio stuff for a while there, and then like once they started doing stuff with them, it was kind of too little, too late. So it's like,
yeah. At least he got into the game. I used him quite a bit.
He was in the game. And he's going to be in the game very momentarily when he goes to WWE.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
He's probably... No, well...
I probably should say that better.
What? Oh, was you making a joke there? Okay.
Yeah, because Triple H is the game, and...
Okay. Yeah, I was talking about 2K25. Yeah, they probably got some really good versions of him up on community creations already.
Oh, 100%. Oh man, is he gonna come back as Alistair or Malachi? I would like him to keep the Malachi name. It just
I
seems
don't think
cooler.
don't think AEW will let him do that. Probably.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, Sean Spears didn't, bring the Ty Dillinger name back.
But that's his name, though.
That's true.
Yeah, I think that because WWE has already registered Alistair, they'll probably call him Alistair. Maybe, I don't know, or they could just call him. What's his wife's name? Selena Vega's husband. They'll just call him Selena Vega's husband.
Oh my god! And then you have JR in the background. Oh my god! And it's like, oh my god, that's Selena Vega's husband. Oh my god! Like it's like the fear. It's like, oh my god.
You know the best thing about Raw being in Germany this week? It was Corey Graves. He got to come back this week.
Oh my god, yeah. I saw Corey Graves. Was like, wait a minute. Oh my god, he's back.
Yeah,
He's
but
back.
for how long? But for how long?
I was half expecting him to do a shoot promo or something. I was half expecting him to get up from the commentary desk going, man, I fucking hate this company. And he's just going off, and Michael Cole's just sitting there looking like he's ready to cry. And then Cody Rhodes is like coming out. He's crying because he's like, "How dare you say anything bad about this company? I'm the champion, and I'm the guy." And then like John Cena pulls up. He's got like a little chain on his. He's got the watch. He just like starts like punching him in the head. And like Cody's crying. The kids are crying. Everyone's crying because Corey's like in the back. He's shooting on everybody. You got John Cena. He's beating up Cody Rhodes, and all the kids are like, no. And then like CM Punk's fighting people backstage because he's not main eventing WrestleMania, so he's like having like this bare knuckle drag out brawl, and Bianca's like, no, Jade, how could you? And then like it's just chaos backstage, and everyone's beating each other. It's like, but really, it's just CM Punk causing a ruckus backstage because, of course, he's the problem, as the like other people like to say, he's the problem. But no, he's just beating people up.
Yeah. Hey, there was some news here. It's developing news. Lex Luger, we talked about last week. He's being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he really wants Sting to induct him, but Sting's still under contract with AEW, and there's talk that Tony Khan probably doesn't want to let Sting go over and do that. And people are also talking about, hey, well, maybe they could do a trade. But, Dave Meltzer, who cares what he says? But he's like, WWE's kind of been picking on AEW as of late this last year or so. So why would Tony Khan want to work with them? But, I don't know. I do think Sting needs to be the one to induct him, but at the same time, WWE didn't let any of their guys under contract go to Sting's retirement thing. But at the same time, still, how many retirement matches have remained retirement matches in wrestling history? I think Sting will probably wrestle sometime again, as all wrestlers do after they retire. So, I mean, I don't think that was a big deal, but it remains that Sting should be the guy to induct Lex Luger into the Hall of Fame.
Especially with how connected their careers are.
Yeah.
Like granted, I know Tony Khan probably has his issues with Triple H and vice versa. And I know that the two companies presumably hate each other. But would it really kill you to because they did it with TNA, because they had Ric Flair. TNA let WWE use Ric Flair for the Hall of Fame to induct for the Four Horsemen, and WWE gave them Christian Cage for TNA.
They did some Kurt Angle too. They did some stuff.
Yeah, that too. So it's like you could easily work it out. It's like, hey, look, I don't like you. You don't like me. But for the love of God, this guy's going to the Hall of Fame. Sting, has been involved with a lot of his career. Would it really kill it? We can do a trade of some sort, as long as it's reasonable.
I would let them have AJ Styles to wrestle Kenny Omega at some point.
Or like a Will Ospreay or a Kenny Omega. Like you could do that. Like, and it doesn't have to be a permanent thing. It could be a one night only thing, which obviously it would have to be because they're not going to do a working relationship. But you could do something where it's like, hey, we'll let you use this guy for a night, but can we please use Sting? And I'm pretty sure, like, and plus Sting's not really an active competitor right now anyway, so
Yeah.
what exactly is it really affecting? You could literally just have do because like trust me, I get it. With WWE and their ways of they don't want to work with AEW because of this, that, the other, and Tony Khan's spoken like he's always making comments about them, and it's like, but then you think about it, it's like, well, AEW is really the one that's trying to poke the bear here because they're the ones that are trying to like because they're on TV constantly going, oh, WWE sucks, and and Will Ospreay going out and be like, oh, Triple H got his job because he grinded on the boss's daughter, and they're always making these comments, and then when push comes to shove, then it turns into, oh, how dare they? But regardless, when you look at like Lex Luger's career, there's one other guy that really connects to Lex Luger, and that's Sting, because they practically, when it comes to wrestling, like they've been together for a long, long time. They're great friends. Like, I just don't like. Granted, I understand DDP's really helping Lex right now, and seeing the progress Lex has made has been great. And I understand like wanting DDP there. Like DDP would probably be the secondary choice and the easier choice, but when it comes down to it from a career standpoint, Sting makes the most sense.
Yeah, I would if you had a backup. It had. I think Ric Flair should do it over DDP, but
or better yet, it could have been Bret. It could be Bret Hart because Bret and him tied in the Royal Rumble, and Bret could just be like, "Oh, I don't want to do it. Fuck you." It's like I'd rather get into a fist fight with a bear than induct Lex Luger. It's like, Bret, what's your problem with Lex Luger? I don't have a problem with Lex Luger. Fuck you.
that would, Brett would probably cut a promo on AEW for them not letting Sting. He'd be like,
man,
they,
that other company fucking sucks.
Yeah, they screwed Lex Luger.
They screwed Lex Luger just like they screwed me. Sting can't do the sharpshooter better than me. Only I can do that move.
No, actually, he said that if there was one other person that could do the sharpshooter well, it was Sting because it was his move. But I never liked Sting's version of it, the Scorpion Deathlock, because he never really sat down, and because of that, a lot of times when he put it on, it was sloppy looking. I think it's Brett and Owen, and those are the top two right there.
And then on the way, way bottom, it's The Rock. We all know.
Yeah, well, I think Shawn Michaels is even worse because Shawn didn't know how to slap it on every time he tried to do it. He couldn't figure out which leg went. He had to turn first. Every time he tried to do it, he couldn't get it. And I think Brett had to tell him, yell at him. It's like, it's that leg. It's that leg. When he tried to do it one time.
Oh, man. Oh, that was a screw job, I think.
Yeah, he's like, that leg. Which leg? That leg.
Oh, man. But it just, I just think as a point, I feel like they really should just come to an agreement and just say, you know what? It's a celebration of a guy's career. Like, we can put aside our bullshit for one night to just let this happen. And then, and then you can fuck right off, do whatever you want to do. But,
Also, there was rumors that Kamala is being looked at as another induction for this year.
I did hear about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how well that's going to go over because there was some kind of bad blood. He was in poor health towards the end, and his family kind of had bad things to say about WWE. I'm sure they probably made it up to him if he's going to the Hall of Fame. So, it's a kind of messy situation there, but he definitely deserves some recognition in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, it would be cool if he went there, if he got into the Hall of Fame, but like you said, if there's like a lot of bad blood, there, I don't know how
Yeah.
I don't know how well that's gonna go, because if there's that lot of issues there, I don't think I hope, like, I mean, the thing is too is a lot of people are probably gonna be like, well, like, because there's already that, because I've already heard the discourse online about how the WWE didn't do anything for Kamala, and fair enough. I mean, because, and unfortunately, and it comes back, and I don't want to make this new like a thing, but
Yeah.
wrestlers really should have had a union, and they should.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
The fact they don't have a union right by now, I think, is beyond ridiculous and absurd. Like, with the shit they do, they should have a union that says, hey, so that way all these, like, these legends and all, like, these guys are being well taken care of. Because, like, unless, like, even when you're, like, a really, really top big name, like, a lot of them, like, have their own, like, issues. So it's like a union right now would be great for them.
I mean, they're basically actors. They're basically stuntmen.
Yeah.
They're athletes. All those have unions, but wrestlers don't.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I mean, I think the closest they ever gotten was when Jesse Ventura was like, "Hey, we need to unionize," and then,
Oh no, brother, no,
no, dude,
brother.
no, brother, dude, no, brother, Jack, we can't unionize, because if you unionize, then the Hulkster won't be the Hulkster, dude, brother. So you better decide wisely, Jack. Well, let me tell you something, Hulkster. Fuck you. I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm doing a union, and if it's like, no union, Jesse. Fuck you, no.
Okay.
I can't do the Vince voice anymore. It hurts my throat.
Oh.
But
Well,
I
you
can
don't
do
have
the
to do
Eric
it.
Bischoff voice. Well, wait a minute. What's going on here?
Wait a
Jesse
minute.
Ventura. Jesse Ventura wants to unionize. And then Hulk Hogan is coming out of the
I'm
ring. What's he doing?
I'm the governor of Minnesota. I'm Jesse Ventura. I'm a former Navy SEAL, and there's conspiracies left and right in wrestling.
He's like, well, why is the champion coming out first, McMahon? I don't get it.
Shut up, McMahon.
Shut up, Gorilla McMahon. Somebody. Why is the champion coming out first? I don't get it. Jesse Ventura rules.
I can't wait till the next Saturday Night's main event. After the crap he pulled last time, he's like, "That wasn't a 3 count. That was a 3 count. There's no replay in the WWE."
There was no replay when I was from.
Yeah.
He's like, you know who else I hate? Hulk Hogan. It's like, Jesse, we didn't even talk about Hulk Hogan. Let me tell you about that fucking guy. No, Jesse, please stop. And then CM Punk comes out. He's like, you guys say something about Hulk Hogan? No, CM Punk, please, no. God, no. And then, like, they're trying to shoo Punk away. Like, no, we can't get these two together. If these two get together, it's over. We're going down. We're going down. The ship's going down. Help! No! And then the entire time, like, they're doing commentary, it's just them going, man, Hulk Hogan sucks. And everyone's like, yeah, we agree, but listen, what's going on in the match? Let me tell you about that Hulk Hogan guy. No, stop. We don't need to hear about Hulk Hogan, please.
Hulk Hogan does suck, but I can't help it. Every time I see a Hulk Hogan figure on the shelf, I'm like, oh, maybe I need to buy that. They had a new one from the WrestleMania 41 line where it's like modern Hogan with the black jean. He's got the huge boa on, and I was like, maybe I need to get that. That's a nice looking figure. But I noticed something weird. Every one of the figures, I don't know if it was just the weight of the shipment that I got into my Walmart, but every one of the elbows looked like a dog had chewed them up, and they got these chewed up elbows, and they put them on to his figure. I don't know if it was like a defect in that run or what, but I was like, damn, that's a $22 figure, and every one of these has a messed up elbow on it. So check your elbows, people. Check your figures' elbows, people.
Speaking of Hulk Hogan, apparently he's in a lot of shit right now, like usual.
Really? What happened this time?
So he's doing like this tour for his beer or whatever,
Oh,
and
Great
like,
American Beer, the best beer in the
yeah,
planet. Great,
yeah,
and it's American,
I
brother.
guess so, brother,
Yeah.
dude. So he's apparently like he's doing like these tours or whatever, and like he's supposed to do like meet and greets, and he's showing up late to all of them, and he won't sign
Oh,
anything
yeah.
that's not like the Great American Beer merchandise or whatever.
Is this where the father got on because he wouldn't sign the kid stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, apparently he was signing everything but stuff for kids, supposedly, from what I heard. And there was a video, and the father's like, "Yeah, hey, you're a son of a bitch, Hogan," or something like that.
Yeah, it's very. It's just like,
But at the same time, it's a event for beer, so you don't really want kids to be present and taking photos and having a photo op with you got your beer there and you got your kids and like kids beer. It's I don't know about that.
yeah. So it's unfortunately it's one of those situations where I can understand the side of Hogan where it's like, well, if I'm doing this signing, like I'd rather be signing like the stuff that I'm being paid to like chill out for. But on the other hand, and also I agree, like if you're bringing kids there, that's kind of weird. But on the flip side, it's like, well, would it really kill you to do so? Like,
But at the same time, it may have been like a I don't know, kind of Bubba the Love Sponge kind of atmosphere there for it, and there might have been like Hooters type girls and stuff, beer advertising and stuff. So I didn't actually see the stage where they were doing it because it was kind of tarped off. So it may have been a little bit too not appropriate for kids to be there. So you got to take that into consideration.
yeah, that's true too. There's just a lot. There's just a lot of fucking things with Hogan. I swear to God, it's like every time we talk about Hulk Hogan, there's always something attached to something bad attached to him. It's like,
Well, yeah, but I don't know if this time is actually. I don't know if it's his fault because like we said, it's a beer promotion. That's
yeah,
not for kids. It's not for kids.
no, it's not. And to be fair, if like kids, well, actually, no. I mean, some kids might know about who Hogan is, but it'd be kind of weird. But some people might know. Um,
Like it was
so,
a 2K25 event, and he didn't want to sign kids stuff. I can understand people being pissed about that, but
but if it's a beer thing, first of all, why are you taking kids to go like meet them? Like that's a little weird. But granted, I could understand the argument. People like even like adults be like, hey, look, can you like sign this? And Hogan's like, no, dude, you can't. I'm not signing anything that's not beer related or the real American beer or whatever. It's like I think that's just like I can understand that, but at the same time, if Hogan's being paid to like, hey, I need to advertise this, like I I'd rather you not. Like if you want that specific stuff signed, you got to go to like somewhere else. Like I
or
could,
he made it. He might have told him, maybe after the event, if you stick around or something. I mean, but the dude just went off in the middle of the event. He's like, "You suck, Hogan. You won't sign up right now." So I don't know.
but it also doesn't help that he was like 2 hours late or whatever, and
Oh, yeah.
which that's not great. And like people got turned away because he was late, and it's like I don't know. It's just like I feel like the situation is just a mess. Like I can understand one side, but on the other side, I'm like, well, they kind of got a point, but then this person has a point. It's a weird mess. So
At least he doesn't have to go cut any videos and apologize to a kid.
oh god, the Warrior promo where it was like he had to apologize to that kid, and then it's just him going. it's just him going, and then like there's like bloopers of him going, "Fuck, I don't know what to say. Like, what do you want me to do?" And
yeah, man, I wish that YouTube let us run clips during the stream because uh, all this stuff that we're talking about, you could have a clip ready to go, and we could talk about it. And damn it,
oh god, absolutely.
I get. Can you do that stuff on Twitch? Well, we can't talk about that here. It is on air. Never mind YouTube. We're not talking about Twitch on the air. Nope.
We can't say the no word.
No word.
We can't say the T word.
I just hate how there's so much restrictions to where you can't, be adventurous and do stuff.
Yeah, it's unfortunate the time we live in where we even have to, when we have to deal with people like Hulk Hogan, and
Yeah.
it's oh man, it's a crazy time. Just be like John Cena, where we just cry and whine all the time.
Yeah. Oh, also, supposedly Soraya is coming to a end of her career. She says it's going to be sooner than later. I don't know what that means. If she's going to wrestle anymore before it's over or what. One of the dirt sheets on X said like, "Hey, maybe she could go into the Hall of Fame next year." And I'm like, "No, what are you talking about? Let's do this stuff in order. You got to put Mickey in." You got to put AJ in and probably a couple other guys in before, Paige goes in, because I mean, we need to do this stuff in order, at least somewhat in order, because dang, Mickey needs to go in. AJ needs to go in. There's,
Yeah.
come on.
And I'm not saying she isn't a Hall of Famer, but let's call it for what it is. I think compared to a lot of other talent there,
Yeah.
especially like a Mickey James, I think Mickey should go in before Saraya, because it's like, I'm not saying Saraya didn't do anything to help kind of push women's wrestling forward, but Mickey James has not only did more in the business, but she also, like, she's been around longer. Like, I think it would be the right thing to do, just to have her go in before Soraya. But I don't even think they're even having conversations about that yet. So
No. It's just, people spitballing because of what she said.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Indeed. I think that about does it for tonight. We went past the hour. Is there anything else to talk about, or
Not really, no.
nothing of note? I don't think.
No, that's why we need to have a backup sometime to, do, you said like the rankings and stuff or whatever.
Yeah, like, because I wanted, because I was thinking about it, I'm like, well, we don't really have much going on tonight anyway, so it's like, let's just do kind of like just a kind of casual Chad conversation. Somehow we found something to talk about.
Yeah. We needed to get those tier lists and just do the wrestling video game tier lists.
Yeah, you know what? I think we might, depending on. Well, actually, we could. Actually, I think we could do a the video game thing next week, if we don't have anything to talk about.
I sometime I got that ranking thing where I did all the video game series, and I specifically lined up each matchup. I don't know if I would get in trouble doing that, because Friday nights is when, other people do their rankings, but yeah, that would be fun.
Do they still do that on Friday nights?
Yeah. If not Fridays, they don't start. They're probably doing one right now, actually.
Let me see, because they would probably typically do it on Chaos Central, I think. Let's see here. Round table review, round table. The last ranking they did, I think, was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it would be a big deal, because it's like, You
Yeah.
know,
That's something we can talk behind the scenes about, but
yeah. We don't need to talk shop,
yeah.
here. But yeah, no. I mean that could be something we could do next week. I mean,
I got to figure out how to get that file to you because I did on the site. I maybe can provide a link to you to get over to it. Where I may have to just let you log. I don't even know what my login is for that though. I may have to go and redo the whole list, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, well, we'll figure it out. I mean, if we have to maybe like kind of revise a little so that way, no trouble happens.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. But with that being said, we're about an hour 10 in. I want to thank Dandelion for being in the chat for that little bit period of time. Greatly appreciate it. Shifty, where can they find you at?
You can find me on X and YouTube under Shifty Gism. That's Shifty GISM. I talk a lot about wrestling, not wrestling, action figures. Sometimes wrestling action figures, mostly DC stuff and Marvel and all that good stuff. Yeah, just nerdy stuff, nerdy stuff, nerdy stuff.
Cool. Very, very cool stuff indeed. And you can find me on my channel where I do the show Good Ol Wrasslin every Friday. Yeah, not a lot of big news lately, but hopefully some stuff turns around. But when we're not talking about like the news, we're just talking wrestling. So if you like Good Ol Wrasslin, check us out. I also do a movie review show with Angry Care Bears. The most recent one I think is almost at 300 views. So thanks everybody who watched it. You can check me out on the Hangout on Wednesdays. You can find me on Storm's Nation on Sunday, and I think that's about it. I think check me out. Rome's isn't here, but he's got his channel. Go check him out. It's in the description.
Yep.
With that being said, we'll see you next week.
Later.
Take care, everybody. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Now, if I can just, see, here we go.
That's awesome.